Welcome back into Warrior Stadium. It is no longer raining. The lightning is leaving the area, at least for now, and we are set for a sensational conclusion here in this rivalry matchup. It is the high school football game of the week presented by Mayberry's Furniture. After a delay that has lasted over an hour, we are geared up, 5 minutes of warm-ups, and then we will have potentially one drive to decide a winner in this one. We'll give you a tail of the tape and get you ready for it, but first, let's introduce ourselves again. I'm Noah McKay. That's Jeremy Tollison. Coach Michael Dodgen on the sideline. We are in the White Realtors broadcast booth. The lovely Madison McKay is producing things for us. Here's the situation. White County leads Cookeville 14-7. There are 3 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in regulation. Cookeville will have a 1st and 10 after a White County punt, and they're going to have decent field position. They're on their own 39-yard line. And as we kind of set the stage for this final drive, what is potentially the final drive, I should say, I think it's also important to clarify what has happened so far in this game, and that is complete domination in the trenches by the White County Warriors. They have run the ball very well tonight. They have stopped the run very well tonight. Cookeville has continued to struggle, have not scored more than 2 touchdowns in a game this entire season. They scored 1 touchdown in week 1, 2 touchdowns last week, just 1 here tonight. All that being said, the Cavaliers have a drive with a chance to tie or potentially win this football game. In year 4 under Taylor Hennigan, feels like this is a critically important drive for Cookeville, maybe as a program, guys.
No, I agree with you. This game specific, obviously big drive for him. But if they get on the bus, headed back to Cookeville tonight 0-3, where do you regroup? What happens? Listen, their schedule is brutal.
It is.
And everyone felt like they would be out of this game 2-1 at the worst.
Right.
Potentially 3-0. You get on this bus at 0-3, you have to figure out as a program where you're at and what's going on.
And conversely, a lot of people thought White County 0-3, 1-2 maybe at best. They're 1-1 with a chance to get to 2-1 with what would be a signature win here early on in their campaign. This is a gigantic final 3 minutes and 57 seconds of regulation in this ball game. Both have stiff tests next week. White County not in region play, but they welcome in the Tullahoma Wildcats, who are a very good 5A squad. Cookeville has a critical region 4 6A matchup next week at home with the Gallatin Green Wave. Cookeville tonight has done nothing offensively. There was a huge kickoff return by Blake Barrett. They got it on the 21-yard line, punched it in 3 plays later. Barrett had another big kickoff return, didn't capitalize. They got a pick, got it inside the 30, didn't capitalize. Lex Winfrey has been a monster up front. Cole Sims has run the ball sensationally for White County. The Warriors have completely controlled the trenches. It has been the complete opposite of the last 3 meetings where everybody scored at least 34 points. It has been nip and tuck. Don't take anything away from the Cavalier defense in this second half. They've been very good. This was our halftime score at 14-7. They've stopped the run way better than they did in the first half. The problem for Cookeville is they've had no answer, and when they've got into the drop-back passing game of Easton Davidson, Lex Winfrey has been throwing people into his lap over and over and over again.
That and a couple of crucial situations. Cookeville's unfortunately been hit with the dropsies a little bit. You know, we've got a touchdown in the end zone that theoretically we could have a tie score here, but unfortunately slips through the hands of number 10, and it's just when they start to get things going, then it kind of falls apart in a little bit different area.
Coach Dodgen's on the field right now. It rained pretty good, but it was not a torrential downpour, I wouldn't say. Coach, what is the field like down there?
The field's in good shape, but it's just wet. And now you look at that as, is that an advantage defense? Is that an advantage offense? You know, you've given both teams obviously 45 minutes, almost to an hour to go in and re-scheme a game plan for this last drive. Hey, you could have probably went back in and watched game film for an hour if you wanted to at this point. So it's going to come out here with which team, I guess, out of the break has stayed more focused.
And to that point, Cookeville's been able to go in and kind of like the first drive of the game, script things. Come up with a script for this drive, knowing the situation that they're in. A lot of games have been called off. Only one game, to our knowledge, has gone final. Pickett County fell tonight against Cannon County.
In the second quarter.
They called that one at halftime.
And no other games gone final. We're going to have Saturday Night Football tomorrow. 2 broadcast games. Livingston Academy and Smith County in second half there, where Smith County leads by 17-6 by 11, and then Macon County Greenbrier. Macon County led 7-0 that game early in the first quarter. We're going to have Saturday Night Football tomorrow. We're going to have late night football tonight. 3 minutes, 57 seconds to decide a winner between Cookeville and Sparta. Huge crowd tuning in because everybody's back home besides us. It is not raining right now. There's a little breeze, but nothing significant there. We are just moments away from the Reichert Realtors postgame show. Coach Dodgen will be joined by the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game, along with the winning coach. Who's it going to be? We're going to have to wait and see. We mentioned how important of a job maybe this is for Coach Taylor Hennigan's tenure. This is a big growing up spot for Easton Davidson.
Well, and here's your other thing, too, guys. Now you've taken 90% of the crowd out. Both bands are gone now. It's a completely different atmosphere.
If you were here and now you're watching, we welcome you in as well. It was a great crowd earlier, but you're right. Empty is a good phrase. Now, a lot of the Sparta students did stick around. There's some Cookeville students as well. Here we go. It is still that freshman tailback behind Easton Davidson, Davin Morton. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 3:57, Cookeville with 2 timeouts remaining. Sparta with 1. They're working left to right. Davidson motions a man across the line of scrimmage. And now calls for, has the snap, dropping back to pass. Has some time, now pressured, fires over the middle, incomplete. Caden Cisco wide open. It was nowhere close, Jeremy.
It was, and you know, Coach Dodgen mentioned it a moment ago. Was the ball a little wet did he lose his grip? I don't know. But it was a little overthrown.
Unfortunately for Cookeville, that's been a familiar refrain the first 3 games of the season. They're trying to get that passing game working. Davidson, to his credit, had 2 great balls earlier on thrown. One should have been a touchdown.
Correct.
Through 2 defenders. The next one went off the helmet of his receiver. So it's not that he's missed everything. He's had some really big plays left out there. 4 receivers set. The crowd that's here making noise. Davidson with the snap, dropping back, fires the hitch. There's Cisco, makes the catch, and then steps out of bounds. Stops the clock, and now we have a huge 3rd and 4. And Cookeville does have time to go in short increments down the field as long as they continue to get out of bounds.
And obviously 4-down territory, because you cannot give White County the ball back with 2 timeouts only, and they've just been crunching up the rushing yards.
Live on Facebook and YouTube, we welcome you in. 4 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. 3rd down and 4. Sparta brings the Pete. Davidson sets, fires, intercepted, picked off, 35-40, 30 and down. Davidson makes the tackle. Eli Smith read it the whole way, and Sparta's on the doorstep of a victory tonight.
You know, they've went to the well a little too much on that little out pattern to the sideline. And 11 just read it and steps right in front of it.
Back in the first quarter, he was inches away from a
Correct.
pick on the same play. That time, Eli Smith, we mentioned he's a star baseball player, becoming a star football player, makes the interception. 1st and 10, Sparta on the Cookeville 28. First pick of the night for the Sparta defense. 3:30 to go. Cookeville does have 2 timeouts remaining. Sparta looking to finish it off. Eli Smith read it the whole way, and now we have a late flag in.
Substitution. I think they've got 12.
Sparta, there's a lot of maroon jerseys. It is going to be illegal substitution. 12 men on the field.
Last time I checked, that was illegal.
It is. It is indeed. Some schools, not mentioning it. We had a game with a school from East Tennessee that did not know that was illegal. First and 15, true. 3.5 minutes, Cookeville with 2 timeouts. Eli Smith. Tremendous play. That was telegraphed in, though. He was able to read it the whole time. Tucker Pinion has the snap. Going to turn and hand off. Sims wrapped up. That's been the story of the half for both offenses. And Taylor Hennigan immediately burns a timeout. Still losing some time. It's rolling down. It should be 3:25. It rolled down to 3:20. As he burns the timeout.
Sims has done a really good job of protecting the football tonight, and he has to continue doing that. Cookeville wants to rip the football out.
So here we are. It's a 2nd and 14. At this point, Cookeville's still making a drive to try and win this game. The problem is they've got nothing. They've got absolutely no answers for White County defensively. David Foster, of course, used to be an assistant at Cookeville, but an assistant all across the Upper Cumberland. Now the head coach. By the way, happy birthday to Coach Foster, and what a gift it would be from his team if they get this win here tonight to get to 2-1.
He would take this for his birthday, wouldn't he?
He certainly would.
Another final that we had a game that got done. Warren County beat Hunters Lane 48-6.
Warren County with a big win for the Pioneers. How about Gordonsville? Fayetteville went to war last week with a good Friendship Christian team. Gordonsville routing them right now, 35-6 midway through the third quarter.
Gordonsville's good.
The Tigers, third in the UC top
they
5.
Good.
They are really,
they
really
are
good. Make it fourth. My apologies. They're in that group. There's 3 very tightly wound right there in the middle of the UC top 5.
White County wants to force them to use that last timeout on this next play.
A first down for White County likely ends it. Pinion in the pistol on 2nd and 14. Low snap has it. Turns hands off to Sims. Sims looking to cut. Now will be wrestled down at about the 30. Taylor Hennigan burns another timeout. We've got a late flag in. This is huge. White County has their hands up. That leads me to believe it may be on them, but I'm not sure. Now they're both clapping. This may be on Cookeville. They've had 1 personal foul tonight. Now they've had 2. That is gigantic. I imagine Taylor Hennigan is going to get his timeout back. He wants an answer from the officials, but this is going to be an automatic, it's going to be a Gary Maxwell Insurance first down.
It will. Let's remember the ball is at the 30, so at least outside the 30, so the full 15 yards, and it'll be a first down for White County. And you're a little quicker with your math than I am, but they can run this clock almost out.
And I think Taylor Hennigan will get his timeout back here that he burned. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see.
He will, but the problem is the penalties against the defense, so it's still a 40-second play clock.
Right.
So as soon as we get the ready for play, we run it,
so
and it's
burn
40
it if
seconds.
He wanted to anyway.
The math is the same. It doesn't matter.
Second time in a pivotal spot. One came earlier on a third down where it was going to be off the field. A blatant, obvious personal foul penalty moved the sticks, and now who knows what happened in the pile, but the flag came out in the second one.
I have no idea what happened, but it has to be egregious for you to throw the penalty flag there. You can't get picky in that situation. I'd like to know what happened because it seemed to me that flag's probably a little picky.
1st and 10. The clock is stopped for now. Sparta's already ready to go. They don't kill the clock down. That's a big mistake. Handoff to Sims, and he's hit immediately. And now Taylor Hennigan will burn his final timeout. That's a humongous mistake by White County as they give Cookeville a free 40 seconds. They snapped the ball before the play clock even began to run.
And the play clock was reset at 25. It should have been 40.
Still for White County, a field goal. They win the football game. It is 2nd and 10 from the 15 with 3:08 to go. Cookeville cannot stop the clock again.
The personal foul was on the lineman for Cookeville for excessive after the play is what they said over here on the side.
Like excessive hitting.
Excessive hitting after the play is what the side judge came over and told the coaches from White County.
And again, I'm not questioning that, but it needs to be obvious from everybody in the stadium if you give a first down on that play right there.
There will not be a Friday Night End Zone show tonight because we may only have 2 final scores tonight. So, unfortunately, there will not be one, although we will have games tomorrow and we'll be able to talk about tonight's game. So if you want to hear thoughts on those, tune into tomorrow night's broadcast and we'll bring them to you. 3:08 to go in the ball game. 2nd and 10 for Sparta. They're on the Cookeville 15 after the interception by Eli Smith. No timeouts remaining for the Cavs. 1 left in the back pocket of David Foster on his birthday. Now a late arriver for Sparta, and they'll keep him on the sideline. Tucker Penning in the pistol. Sims behind him. Has a low snap. Hands to Sims again. Sims dances forward. Has a hole. Sims lowers the shoulder to the 10. And now here's the car crash. Everybody's in there. Pile moving for Sparta.
First
Move
down.
the chains for White County. They push them 6 extra yards for a Gary Maxwell Insurance first down.
And again, Noah, we've talked about it, but that is the story of the night is physicality and the line play. And that is just a testament to how hard White County's played tonight, and that play right there is indicative of exactly what has happened for 4 quarters.
The perfect depiction of this football game tonight was right there. First down and goal from the 3-yard line.
Who wants it more?
They can't run the clock entirely out, but something tells me Coach Foster wants an exclamation point and 6 more on the board for the team in maroon. Jumbo set, they hand to Winfrey, but we've got a flag down, and that will stop the clock, and we have early movement, a false start against the Warriors. 2:19 on the clock.
And let's think about the rule here as well is if the clock's under 2 minutes. We got a timeout.
Sparta granted a timeout before that snap. Go ahead.
I was thinking with the rule, if the clock's under 2 minutes, then Cookeville can say, hey, I don't want the clock to start until the snap as opposed to the ready for play, but we were a little above 2 minutes, so it would start at the ready.
So timeout on the field, 2:19 to go. So tomorrow night we will have a couple of games at 7 o'clock. Macon County Greenbrier there early on in that one. Livingston Smith County there in the second half of that one, right at halftime. Here, 2:19 to play, 14-7. And really, if you missed the first part of this game because you were somewhere else, what you've seen is exactly how this entire game has gone. It feels like Sparta's up by 28 points.
Yeah, and we've talked about that, but Sparta has shot themselves in the foot a couple of times in some crucial situations to give Cookeville even a
slither of a hope.
Exactly.
It has been domination by White County in the trenches and not doing anything fancy outside of this jumbo set, which they'll be back in with Winfrey on the left side of Cole Sims. Cole Sims has both touchdowns tonight. First and goal from the 3. He has a low snap. It bounces. Winfrey has it. Lex Winfrey lowers the shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, White County. Lex Winfrey, the big man, finishes off a dominant night for him. And Sparta is about to beat Cookeville for the first time in 3 seasons.
And listen, hey, I graduated high school from Cookeville. I want Cookeville to have success, and I want them to win every single game they play. White County, my biggest rivalry, they came in here and win this football game tonight. They deserve this win.
Noah Skeeth on to kick the extra point. Snap, set, kick, cash. 21-7. I didn't go to any of them. White County's come in here and manhandled their opponent tonight in emphatic fashion. No asterisks, no doubt about it. They are rolling to this win tonight. They're going to be a lot of swagger, and they deserve to have a lot of swagger as their diehards who have stayed behind are on their feet. And for Coach David Foster in his first year, a lot of unknowns. What was it going to look like? He told us we're going to run the football. He said it pregame to Coach Dodgen. We're going to run the football. He said it at halftime. We're going to run the football. My goodness, have the White County Warriors run the football tonight against a front that is every bit as big on the stat sheet as they are. It has not mattered. They've dominated.
And you talk about just the intangibles. Who's going to be more physical? Who wants it more? And then, again, you've got 2 terrible situations with personal fouls that you're about to, at minimum, force a punt, and all of a sudden you give a first down and they end up scoring on both.
Coach, you got something.
Goose just said to Jeremy, get his Amazon list ready.
Hey, who's the only person that picked Sparta?
Michael Lindsay.
Hey,
Goose got it.
Hey, they got a kid on the way. Get his registry list, and anybody from White County that wants to congratulate him on the pick, send them some diaper bags or strollers or something.
That would be very helpful to Goose. Save him some money. Is that it? If you get the pick right, you get gifts? I would like that one. Not tonight, but I like it in general. A little pooch kick here. Rolling into no man's land, and Cookeville just got to fall on it, and there's the slip and slide for the first time. 2:11 to go, no timeouts. Cookeville's only chance, touchdown, onside kick, touchdown.
With no timeouts.
Good luck. They've scored once from the 21-yard line.
And you've not been able to find any success. And the thing is, we felt like they may try to attack Sparta downfield a little more during this game, and they've just not had success doing that. And now Sparta knows you have to.
And here's the other thing. They barely had the football tonight. While the offense has not been in rhythm, Sparta has – we don't have the stat in front of us. The time of possession has to be 3-1 in this game.
It's worse.
Davidson going to send two receivers out each way with 2:09 to play. Sparta leads 21-7. Now he has a new back in the backfield with him, Hunt Reese. He has the snap. Here comes pressure again. Davidson steps up, gets away from one man, now fires to Reese. He's hit immediately, and now brought down by a couple of different Warriors. Gain of 7. Clock continues to run, under 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
If you're White County, just keep the ball in front of you right here and no stupid penalties if you're White County.
It stays in bounds. White County's good with it, even on 7-yard gains. Davidson again out of the gun. Steps up in the pocket, fires down the middle, and it's caught. Laying out to make a very impressive catch is Nick Johnson, the senior wide receiver. That moves the chains on Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate first down. With down to the 45, 1.5 minutes to go. The clock did not stop. We've had a few clock issues tonight, so now they'll have to reset it up some. The Sparta coaches aren't happy, but they do get the stoppage to reset the chains and the ball.
Should be around 136 is what it looks like.
Yeah, it continued to run down there after the first down, so now they'll say it up in the headset. They're going to 136. Coach, you were spot on down there.
Hey, this iPad comes in handy down here.
Two receivers each way. Cookeville with just their 4th first down of the night. Snap taken. Davidson fires into the flat, off the mark, incomplete. 2nd and 10 upcoming here. And if you missed the entire game, you didn't have to see it because you just got a great synopsis, the Cliff Notes version of this game. You've seen it in the last 15 minutes.
If you were at the Demolition Derby and it ended and you just got home.
You missed the Demolition Derby that the Sparta front is putting out there tonight, and they are running through people. 2 receivers each way. Davidson in the gun again. Has the snap. Drops back. Looks left. Receiver's open. Makes the catch and popped. Ball comes out and they immediately say incomplete. They'll say he didn't get
Definitely
that football
incomplete.
move.
Good call.
3rd down and 10. If they wouldn't have called it, it was going to be a scoop and score, and this place is going to become a madhouse. Even the few who have stayed are making their presence felt. Once again, stick around postgame with the Riker Realtors postgame show. Coach Dodgen, who has his microphone on, and we can hear what he's talking to Goose. So there we go. Thank you very much. I muted you, but that's fine. 3rd and 10. It's a late night for everybody. He will be joined by the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player Game. You got a couple of options tonight, Jeremy.
I know where I'm going.
I know where I would go.
If we had a vote, we got our vote too.
Well, you don't. Davidson over the middle. Receiver jumps up to make the catch. Taylor Fitz able to grab it. I bet we're all in agreement, though, Coach, on this one.
It's not Michael Dodgen.
Listen, it's been tough. Double duty tonight's been tough.
Snap taken. Davidson looks left. Now we have a late whistle and a flag in for a false start. So that'll back him up 5 yards. Hey, Hallie Gunlock doesn't complain about having to do double duty.
Exactly. I'm just telling you, I think we've got a downgrade tonight for Game of the Week.
There's multiple reasons why you've got a downgrade.
1st and 15 upcoming here. We've got Tom Rinaldi. We've got Aaron Andrews. Coach, the UC's Tom Rinaldi down there.
I can handle it. I'd take that paycheck.
Yeah, so would I. 3 to the right, snap taken for Davidson. Again, he's pressured. Steps up in the pocket, fires right to his receiver, Hunt Reese, who had a Warrior right on his back. Gain of 4. Clock continues to run. Inside of 40 seconds to go. It's all over but the horn. Cookeville trying to get up quickly here. This would be the biggest miracle since Bethlehem if Cookeville pulled this one off against this Sparta team. Dropping back, Davidson again pressure. Fires underneath again. Back with room to operate. He cuts upfield. There's Hunt Reese. We talked about him pregame for a reason. He's elusive. Hadn't got a chance to touch it much tonight. 22 seconds as Asanya Brown with American Way Real Estate first down. Cookeville back on the ball quickly. And they'll spike it into the ground. The clock did not run at 22.4, so we'll see if they notice that or not.
Just like Coach Dodgen said, White County doing a really good job of just giving up those short little passes, keep the ball in front of you, making the tackle. I have to give you credit, Coach. Here we are.
Well, and we talked about scripting plays and all that stuff before we came back out. It still looks like the momentum still stayed with White County the whole time.
And that pick ended it. It was the ice pick through, and Eli Smith intercepted that pass on 4th down and went the other way. Maybe it was 3rd down. My apologies. Either way, it became White County football real quick. 2 receivers split out each direction for Easton Davidson in the pistol. 22.4 on the clock. He has a low snap. Drops back to pass. Davidson with time. Down the seam. Nearly intercepted. Cole Sims was right there. We got a late hit in the backfield on Davidson, and he's slow to get up, and this is going to be a roughing the passer. First personal foul of the game on Sparta comes late, and whoever did it, I didn't get a look at the number, got his money's worth on the junior quarterback for Cookeville.
Yeah, let's remember any roughing penalty is the only automatic first down still in high school football.
So it'll be half the distance to the 10-yard line, but it will be a first down and become 1st and goal with 16.1. So if you're a Cookeville fan and you want a miracle, this is your last opportunity. You got to score, get an onside kick, and score on the next play. Sparta playing it perfect. It's going to make the stat lines look slightly worse, but they've done this drive to perfection on defense. And it will be a backup quarterback coming in for the injured Davidson. 4 receivers set. Snap taken, dropping back, looking left. Now forced out of the pocket, thinking about running. To the 10, sliding down. That should be enough to do it. Gavin Gillespie, we've got more flags coming in with 5.8 seconds to go. And as we're all reminded that this is Cookeville Sparta, everybody threw a flag on that one.
Let's just remember on both sides, I mean, if you do something crazy here in a game that's decided, you don't get to play next week either.
You get thrown out,
so let's just make sure that we're, you don't like each other, but you got to keep your cool because Tullahoma and Gallatin are really important next week.
Well, and that's where right there maybe Coach Foster wish you got a timeout in your pocket to bring your guys over here and say, hey, look, guys, we got to move on from this. We cannot keep doing this.
It's a personal foul. It is against White County, and it's 1st and goal from the 5, but it's 5.8 seconds remaining in regulation.
Will be 2nd down because that play did count because it was a dead ball foul.
Okay, thank you very much. That is 2nd and goal. Gillespie, the quarterback, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Motions a man across the line. Snap taken, play fake. He rolls to his right. Floating away, fires it. Receiver makes the catch, brought down inbounds, and that will do it. The White County Warriors get a signature victory over their most bitter rival. Final score tonight at Warrior Stadium. White County 21, Cookeville 7. We welcome you into the Weichert Realtors post-game show. Jeremy Tollison, it took a little while to get to the conclusion, but a well-earned victory on his birthday for Coach David Foster, and it's a White County team that has immediately changed the conversation with their play these last 2 weeks.
No, White County looked good. We've not been able to see them in person, but we've kind of kept up with it. They look pretty good tonight, and unfortunately, I think they just kind of – Cookeville has some issues they got to deal with, but I also feel like the play calling of White County stifled them a little bit tonight, too. Kept them on their toes. And listen, Cookeville matches up player for player with White County. Let's make no mistake. There is talent on that Cookeville team. They just couldn't get it together tonight, and White County just kind of had their way with the line play.
Football, the vast majority of the time, Justin Matheny and I talk about this all the time, most physical team wins, especially in high school football.
Absolutely.
There is no question on this field tonight who the most physical football team was. It was without question the White County Warriors, and Cookeville immediately jogging off the field. We're going to talk about White County, and then, of course, we'll be joined by Coach Foster. And it's okay, Coach. You can do it after the meeting is fine, and we'll be joined by the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game. Cookeville has got – we got a problem.
They can figure
we
some
mentioned
stuff out.
This was the Alamo for Cookeville, and they fell tonight. 0-3 on the season, and a tough one in the region next week against Gallatin at home. That's when the season that matters starts. We'll talk a lot about Cookeville in the coming week, but tonight it's the White County Warriors night. And let's start with the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game. A couple of options tonight, but I think we're in agreement on where this one's going.
I was kind of torn because I'll tell you, Cole Sims had a fantastic night. And I don't want to take a thing away from him. Had an absolute fantastic night with 2 touchdowns. But I'm telling you, the Swiss Army knife of the night that seemed to do a little bit of everything. But Lex Winfrey, I'm telling you, player of the game, just had a fantastic night with about every little thing he did. But the Swiss Army knife, Lex Winfrey, player of the game.
They deployed him in the backfield as a running back. He scored a touchdown there. He was a lead blocker for Cole Sims in that jumbo package, the Wildcat offense. Defensively, completely wrecked the game. Every time Cookeville dropped back to pass, Hunter Broyles and Lex Winfrey were throwing blockers right into Easton Davidson's way. He was sensational tonight up front. There's a reason he was on the preseason All-Upper Cumberland team, and he stays there after a performance like that tonight. Lex Winfrey, the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game. He's going to be joined by Coach Dodgen. A little bit of bling. Jeremy, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, Broyles needs to be in that conversation.
Hunter Broyles,
too.
absolutely.
So at the end of the day, those three, you can really pick anyone you want, but Winfrey just had a fun night.
They're singing happy birthday to their head coach right now. And, one big advantage for Sparta in this game, we weren't able to hit on it much. We talked about all the pressure. They were able to get it with 4. You talked about that in the third quarter. They were able to get home with 4, and because of that, they didn't have to worry about the pass coverage because they could drop 7 back and still disrupt the quarterback and then go on to an island with their corners with safety help over the top. It was a great performance by White County up front, led by Lex Winfrey, but he had help in that department as well. You mentioned Cole Sims, his ability to make things happen. Goose is going to help Coach Dodgen grab Lex Winfrey, and we'll be joined by him. And then immediately following, Coach David Foster on his birthday. They just serenaded him with happy birthday. That was cool to see. So
as a Cookeville Cavalier, that hurts my heart, but White County deserves
no
this.
question about it. Weichert Realtors postgame show. We appreciate them for being the sponsor of the postgame show during Cookeville football. He's going to get to wear the UCR chain around his neck during this interview. Lex Winfrey, the Nelson Trophy and Screen Printing Player of the Game. Coach Dodgen, go ahead.
I'm here with Lex Winfrey tonight, who's the player of the game for us tonight. Got his new bling on here. Lex, talk about not only what you did on the defensive side of the ball, but what you were able to do with the team tonight on the offensive side of the ball.
Overpower them, really. Overpower, that's it.
You go in as a running back. We kind of – you're not going to know who this is, but we said Refrigerator Perry a couple times. You look at different things there. What does this win for you guys mean going down the road, not only next week for Tullahoma, but then you start region play the week after that?
Nothing. We just got to get prepared for the next game. All the next game matters, not this game. This game's over. This game's over.
Lex, congratulations on being player of the game. Great game tonight for us and here tonight and to put on a show. Congratulations, you guys. Go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you.
And now he'll go over to his head coach, David Foster. How about the UCR chain, by the way? Group up in Lafayette gave that to us a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, this is fantastic. I've been wearing it around the house. Mads is annoyed about it, but Coach is joined by David Foster.
We've got Coach Foster here with us. Coach, we talked at halftime, ball control and defense. We had about an hour delay, had a little bit of time to go regroup, go do what you needed to do there. Big stop with Eli Smith. Talk about the whole game for you guys and the game plan tonight.
Well, I just told them when I talked to them, I was so proud of them after our first game because we gave ourselves chance after chance after chance to lay down, quit, and they just refused. And so we lost the first game, but, I'm a Nate Diaz fan. So, we didn't lose. We just ran out of time. No disrespect to Saudi Daisy. Just our attitude is we didn't lose. We just ran out of time. Respect to them. So we just wanted to come in here and try to put a game together. The kids have been so phenomenal. They just play so hard, and they really buy into – you heard Lex. We play one game. We play one play. That's what we believe in. The message is boring. I tell them my speeches are boring because they heard them all in June because I'm not changing. We're not changing. We're just trying to do whatever we can do to make one play as good as it can and then get it out of our mind, and the kids have just bought into that. So it's been really good.
Coach, talk about your offensive line tonight. Almost dominating force to give the holes for Cole Sims, Tucker Pinion, and those guys. Lex Winfrey doesn't need a big hole, but talk about that offensive line and what they did, and talk about your defensive line, the pressure they put on Cookeville.
Well, we've just tried to emphasize being physical up front and being who we are, and just really we like a dirty game, and credit to Cookeville, man. They came out in the second half and stopped a lot of the stuff that we'd had success with. They were super physical. They were loading the box, and we had to try to make some plays. They came out here, our defensive line. We want to shut down the run like everybody. We want the ball not to go overhead. All the stuff that I tell you, it's just I don't know anything else to say. I've been coaching for a little bit, and the cliches are true because they're true. So we just try to emphasize the fundamentals, and the kids have bought in, and that's what makes it fun. We got the best kids. We got the best kids, and I know everybody says that. We got the best kids, man, and they're playing for each other, and they just bought in. So it was really cool.
Coach, congratulations, big win tonight.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Tell them we said happy birthday,
The crew
Coach.
up top says happy birthday. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Go enjoy it with your team.
All right, thank you, sir.
And that's a disciple of Jimmy Maynard right there too. Kind of the smash mouth football that you always saw from Coach Maynard.
No question about it. Now I hate to toot his horn, but an unbelievable job done by Coach Dodgen tonight, helping us out in a major way. And I really hate to say that, and I never say it during girls basketball
But
season.
let's also say
I would
it's
never say it.
Still a complete downgrade from Hallie, though.
Well, that's a given, but I'm trying to be nice.
Okay.
Right now,
I'm just double-checking we covered
but I
that.
gotta
We
get
had
it-
that covered.
I got to get out of the way now because I will never say it once November rolls around, at least
That's
if you
fair.
ask the comment section
That's fair.
on our shows.
That's fair.
That. But I think I'm just right about it, regardless.
But still a downgrade from Hallie.
And how about that from Lex Winfrey to just
I
be
love
like,
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic attitude. And the White County Warriors are going to get to celebrate tonight a big win over their arch rival. They're back in action right back here at D. Harris Field at Warrior Stadium next Friday night when they welcome in the Tullahoma Wildcats. How interesting does that game look right now? Cookeville back to the drawing board. A lot to talk about with the Cavaliers in the next week as they will go back home for a big one in Region 4 6A. They welcome in the Gallatin Green Wave. Gallatin with a great start to the season as well. Well, tomorrow got busy. We hope you'll join us at noon on 106.1 The Eagle. We'll also share the link to our Facebook page and social media channels as the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles welcome in the UTC, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga Mocs. Myself, Justin Matheny, Jacob Benson on the call on the Golden Eagle Sports Network. Thrilled, obviously, to be getting that started. We're appreciative of the opportunity. And then tomorrow night, we'll have two more games, starting at halftime from Smith County as the Owls up by 11, 17-6. Play in the second half against Livingston Academy, and then essentially a whole game. Macon County leads 7-0 early over Greenbrier. That game gets started at 7 o'clock as well. Macon County Greenbrier will be on UCR2. Livingston Smith County, because it's two Upper Cumberland teams, will be on the main UCR Facebook page and YouTube channel tomorrow night. All White County tonight here on D. Harris Field. Final score once again, White County 21, Cookeville 7. I'm Noah McKay. For Jeremy Tollison to my right, Coach Michael Dodgen on the field. Michael Lindsay on the field with coverage coming to UpperCumberlandReporter.com, and the lovely Madison McKay on camera. We say so long from Sparta.